Hello everyone, Cliff here. I'm in my shed again. I thought I'd do a bit of an update on the purple power engraver I made a little while ago. I've been engraving with it quite a bit actually, too much sometimes. It's I can spend hours doodling actually on a bit of brass or something. Don't make much. I haven't made much that's got any point to it. I did make some coins. I've done some oboe pennies, like old English pennies, and I actually even sold a couple, well 3 actually, on eBay. I only put 3 on there and they all sold. One for £1, one for £2.50 and one for £5. But I was quite happy with that. Got to do something with the stuff you make. Excuse me. I just thought I'd do a bit of an update, show you some of the stuff I've sort of made on top of what I did when I finished that. This is the original handpiece that I made, which still works fine. I mean, it's still alright, but it was a prototype and this nut here is a bit loose. Its thread weren't that well made on it. I did make another one, made it slightly out of slightly chunkier material. It's got a much better ferrule on it and just holds the position much better. They both still, I mean, the old one still works fine, but just made another one because I can. The other thing I made was, oh, blimey. I just made this turntable. It's just a couple of, I think it's, let me have a look. Yeah, it's just 2 10mm discs of steel. I bought 6 inches they are. Just bought them on eBay. I did put a bearing in the bottom in one of them and then just screwed the top one to that bearing. That works fine. The bearing actually was a little bit too big. A bit more than 10mm, it's about a 12mm bearing, so I just got a bit of wood with an old board in it that fits into. This is just some lead. I just had some lead and I melted it down into a dog food tin, as you can see by the bottom. But it gives you these rims which help it grip a bit. And I just got a bit of rubber that I'll put on there. It's just an old bit of an inner tube. And plonk that on there, sort of centre it when I'm working on it. And that all spins rather nice. This little vice, I made this myself. I've made loads of these things, like you can see on Shaun's videos, just bits of bent aluminium cut out to take different coins and whatever. And I've got this little vice I made. It's not brilliant, to be honest with you. Works alright. I mean, I can hold a penny or something directly in that with little pins in there. But I just made it. Didn't make a particularly good job of that either, but it works alright. Yeah. I've done all sorts of bits and pieces. That's my engraving drawer down there. I'll tell you what, I'll get the drawer out. Oh shit, it's a bit heavier than I thought. I'll just have a look at some of the bits in here. This is some little bits of tungsten I bought to make bits out of. There's some more little bits of tungsten. They're just 1mm stuff. I mean, it's not got a lot of uses, but if you watch Shaun's videos, he tells you a bit about them. I've made loads of sharpening things. Based on various designs. I mean, you probably, if you're into this, you'll probably get the gist of where they've come from, and there's sort of copyright things on that. There's some more. That's one of the original little ones I made out of Perspex, which Shaun Hughs gives you the printout for to make. I also made a little aluminium one. That's another one. That's a 45-degree one. That's another one. Not quite sure. Oh yeah, got it on the back. That's a 120-degree one. I've got some little scratch brushes. I just bought these in Maplins. They're not a lot of bottle, but there was 3 for about £6 or something. Get a steel one, a fibre one, and a brass one, I think. That's my own one. That's quite a good one. That's one I used to use in my watch and clock repairing, but that's far superior to them crappy things. It's a little sharpening stick. I've made a few tool holders. There's a massive one. I use that for doing wood, because you can engrave wood as well. I make some little wooden signs and things. There's a couple more. They've all got different tips in them, different sharpened. Got, like any of you who make one of these hand sets, a multitude of springs in here. I'm always trying different springs. I did buy some piano wire. There it is. I've made my own springs out of that. No, I say I've made loads. You just got to keep doing it. I mean, I always think you can do it better. Loads of little grinding stones. These are the little pins for me vice here. But it's still a great hobby. And like I say, I did manage to sell a couple of the coins on eBay, and that was all I tried. I haven't tried very hard. I'm going to do a little bit of engraving today. I'm probably going to use this little vise I got. This vise I used for, I just double-sided tape it onto the lead block. I actually milled a recess into it to take little plates and square bits. It's a weird vise because it works the wrong way around. But I'll probably be using that for what I'm going to do this morning. So I'll set that up and do a little bit of engraving. I'm no Shaun Hughs, don't get excited. This is something else I made. I mean, it's very crude. It's just a bit of rounded off wood on here. Some scrap metal I had hanging about that I made the hinge out of. And it's got a spring in it, and that's actually off of a valve, off of a my wife's little Toyota. I can't remember, anyway, I don't know. And is all that does is you push down on that, it lets the air out, and you push it. If you want to stop it all to go, you just push down on that side, which is very useful. I mean, it's I think probably pretty essential. There goes the end. Right, I'll zoom in on what we're doing and do a little bit of engraving for 5 minutes. Right, I'm going to use my new handpiece. I've got a pretty fine cutter in here. This thing it's just a little bit of messing about really. It's a little tool I made for someone for a golf club head remover, but I'm just going to put a bit of a joke, well, not a joke, something on it, his initials and something. So I use the old purple power graver. Let's fire him up. And that's using the foot pedal. Right, I'll zoom in on what I'm going to be doing and you can have a look at that. I think straight lines are the hardest thing in the world to do. Put my goggles on. So the handle here keeps getting in the way of me hairline. Alright, there goes the phone. Right, so the phone went and I forgot to put the camera back on. I've changed my bit now, I'm going for a bigger one, a deeper one. Probably didn't say, but I don't want you to run away with the idea that this is an engraving lesson. It certainly isn't that. If you want that, you have to go to the master that is Shaun Hughs. This is just me playing in my shed on a Saturday morning. Right, well you can see that, but that's I'll do a little bit of cleaning up on it, but that's it for this one. If you've got any questions or anything about what I've been doing, because I know this hasn't explained anything very well. Sorry, I'm rubbing my hands together there, it's a bit cold up here. And for all those who asked about the noise, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up, but that is the noise. And you could quite easily do this indoors. I mean, I do it in my shed because I must like the cold. But it's still a great thing to be doing. And this was in steel as well. This is my old steel. So maybe I'll do another one on something else if anyone's interested. Do a coin or something. Thanks for watching. See you again.